And away we go. Welcome to Unpunked. Why? Why Unpunked? Nobody wants that. I mean, nobody wants that. And I'm just here to reinforce that we've all been punked. Yeah, we've been punked. Politics, religion, financially, personally, and in business. And by the media, of which I am now one. Radio and television programming. Programming, folks. They're programming us. Okay? Think about that. Advertising, they create desire, like you're not somebody if you don't have this or that. And I call bullshit on that. Now, I'm gonna do this without cussing. No swears. Just to show my friends over at 97.1 The Eagle in Dallas that I can, because I'm somewhat notorious for dropping a bomb on a particular morning talk show radio show out there. And, well, I would say I'm sorry, but I did it on purpose because those two guys deserved it for years and years of gaslighting me. That's their format, gaslighting. I'm not even going to mention their name. Ha. So anyway, I've been wanting to do a YouTube channel for so long, and I got myself all twisted up in knots with, making videos and editing them. And I suck at that. And compressing them and that, but actually it's quite easy if you just look at the screen and follow the prompts. Bingo. Hello, world. Okay, so this channel is going to, I want to discuss and identify how we've been punked, because nobody wants that. So we're going to do like the enemy does, and usurp. That's a tool and a weapon that they use. They take everything good and they usurp it, and they manipulate it for their own maniacal agenda, purposes, to benefit them, not us. So, I want to talk about that because I've been punked. Oh my God. Okay. I'm not going to go into a long rant. I'll just use one example today. Okay. So I move up here. It's a small community, new construction, and they cut down a lot of trees. Well, they dug out roads and foundations and basements and stuff, and they cut the roots of the trees. We have these tall oak trees, not the live oak like they have in Texas, but the ones they make the lumber from. There's logging all around here. So anyway, this fool, this son of a timeshare salesman who thought he was a developer, he starts building and cutting down trees real close to the house. Not cutting down trees, cutting the roots. And the trees are dying around the house, and the houses and the cabins, they're small cabins in the Mark Twain forest. It's an excellent place to bug out. There's lots of real estate here for anybody who wants to know where to move to. Come to Missouri. Missouri. Sounds like a play. Anyway, so I got punked Let me count the ways. So the house I bought, roots got cut on this tree that was right, it was on my property, but it was eminently going to fall on my neighbor. Lovely woman. Love her. So anyway, this has been going on for 2 years now. So Barbara, you got to cut the tree down. It's going to fall on her house, you know. So we finally got a crew up here cutting down trees, and so, you know, this dude, this contractor hack, he's like, I'm not going to cut down the tree until you pay me first. I go, oh, all right, how much are you going to charge me? And he said, okay. I go, give me a minute, and pull the money together, and, you know, you got to chase the guy. He never answers his calls. And anyway, so he ends up cutting the tree down. And it falls, you know, it's between me and this lovely woman's house. So there it lays. And I don't have a wood stove yet. But I paid to have that tree cut down. Then I hear from one of the board members up here, oh no, the homeowners association paid to have the trees cut down. Really? Well then, why did that clown demand that I pay him first? And I paid him, and he took my money, cash. I made a receipt. I made him sign it too. Then I find out I didn't have to pay for it. Then some other fool up the hill, he thinks he runs the place and owns the place, and he told this lovely woman that she could, you know, use the lumber for her purposes. But she has to get permission from me first. You know, Barbara, I'll pay to have the wood cut up. Oh, nice. I don't have a need for it, but she has this cute little dog named Gloria. It's a little black thing. It's about this big, you know, it's adorable. And the first time I met her, I'm walking my dog Tigger. She's a Catahoula cur. You know, running around in the woods like she does in all her joy and glory. And so she was off, and I was talking to this woman, and her little dog was there. And I was like, and Tigger comes running up and spooks her dog and pulls off the leash and runs off, and my dog runs for a minute because the two of us went blah. So, and, you know, Tigger's smart, and she's like, I'm just playing. Anyway, the woman basically lost her mind. My dog's vicious. Well, apparently she had an incident with another dog that was trained attack dog and shook her dog, and she's traumatized, dog's traumatized. Okay, fine. She threatened to pepper spray my dog. She was walking. And, you know, what would you do if somebody threatened to pepper spray your dog? So my response was, if you spray my dog, we're going to have problems. And there were witnesses. Hey, here comes Tigger now. Come here and get on the video. Come and sit up here with me. Come on, let's canoodle. There's my dog. Why do we call her Tigger? Why? Say, because I'm a Tigger. Anyway, so how did I get pumped? Well, she got the wood, and, you know, I had talked to a woman in town. She's elderly, and she was gonna buy the wood for me, and then she had a sewing. We were gonna trade, okay. So I'm getting that all worked out. Wait, and then some dude shows up, brother-in-law of the bus driver that takes me shopping. He'll cut your wood up for you. Okay, good. And he comes out, looks at it. Yeah, I'll cut it up. I go, okay, well, I just want a rank. I'm learning about wood and quantities and stuff. I go, I need a rank of wood to trade for this sewing machine. And I'd like a couple of pieces. I want to do some art, you know, make a table and see if I can't work out a chair or something out of it. Oh, yeah, sure, okay. And then you can have the rest. All right. That was the deal. He shows up here today. Oh, good. Here we go. Because I've got this huge tree laying across my property, right? You know, it's just pretty obvious. Anyway, so he's going to town, he's buzzing away and cutting up the wood. And I went out and asked him, I said, hey, could you take that rank of wood we talked about and could you drop it off at Diane's house in town? She's just her porch there. She lives across from the police station, blah, blah, blah. He just looked at me kind of like, well, a little time goes by. I hear his truck start up. So I go out there and say, hey, here's the address. And yeah, just over here and over there. And then, okay, so now the story, the deal changes. Well, I sell by the truckload. I go, well, he's got a big flatbed truck and it's full of this. It was a, I don't know, 40, 50 foot tree, 100 foot, I don't know. I should have measured it. It's about this big around. You can't tell. Anyway, so he had quite a bit of wood. And I said, well, just, because I just want, it's like 4 feet high by 4 feet wide is a rank. Cut to fit in her wood stove, which is typical around here, I'm learning. Well, I can't, I have to drive 40 miles to do this, and I go everywhere, and I talk to people, and I cut their trees, and I sell it. And I'm like, well, the deal was, so and it's him and another guy. So it's me and him and this other guy, and they're like giving me a problem about this deal. So I'm going to argue with them? No. So he cut up my tree and loaded his truck and drove off with all the wood. I got punked. Well, it's not over. I called his brother-in-law. Called him a name. He said, word. And then I'm thinking, because Diane's out of wood, and it's gonna get cold here in a few days, and she needs that wood. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna get another friend of mine with a truck. We're just gonna go up where the wood is that she paid to cut up, and I'm gonna take a rank of wood and give it to Diane. So there, unpunked. Anyway, drama. You can go, please like, subscribe, and share. Yeah, I got a text. Like, subscribe, and share, because that's what we do on YouTube. And I made a list. What are you doing? I made a list of topics that I'm going to cover over the next several episodes, and prepping is one of them. And I have experience with prepping because I'm homesteading. I bought a cabin. It's not finished yet, but I'm in here. I've been here for 2 years, and there's a lot of cabins around here for sale. FYI, hit me up. I'll hook you up with the real estate agent that lives up here, and you too can have a bug out cabin in the Mark Twain Forest in the southwest quarter of Missouri. And but there's a lot of real estate. We're also selling a large property that's next to us. It's 80 acres. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house with a guest quarters attached and a 2-car garage. And that's, it's got pasture and barn. I don't know if the barn is on our property or theirs, but there's quite a bit of land with that property, and it's only $250,000. That's not. See, in Dallas, what do you get for $250,000? See what I'm saying? In California, I'm trying to get my brother to move out here. Anyway, and trout. You can get trout here. I love trout. it's the best seafood you could have. Well, it's not seafood, it's fish. Because you can't eat seafood anymore. It's not safe. The isotopes from Fukushima and the bunker fuel that's, polluting our skies and changing our weather, and it falls in the ocean and it's killing the sea life, and they're washing up on shore. They're like, get me out of here. I don't recommend eating seafood. Mercury, but trout is a stream fish, and there's fresh spring water coming up everywhere. Everybody's got a well, so you're getting water from the earth. Now I'm sure there may be some issues with that, but I think that's the best you can get, unless you're, on a glacier somewhere. Anyway, so I'm going to talk about prepping, because 10 years ago, I got punked. What are the chances? Well, long story short, I had a stroke. I did. I'm recovered. It'll be 24 years in March. And so I want to talk about how to recover from stroke. And I naturally, because Western medicine, I gave them a chance. And their methods are good. They're good for emergency medicine, things like that. But in the long term, you have to, I learned how the brain worked, what the brain needs, how to feed it, and keep it going. Because, with a stroke comes depression and rage and panic, and I had all of that, and I've learned how to manage it and recover. I couldn't even cross the street without a panic attack. I couldn't drive, and now I drove across country. I bought a cabin. I'm building furniture now. I learned somebody gifted me a skill saw. I'm getting pretty good at it. So, that's my jam. I really like that. And growing food, I need to know more about that, but growing inside is going to be very important. Like sprouting and microgreens are very, very easy, and you can do on your countertop to start with. And then I've got lots and lots of ideas and easy fixes that you can do on a budget. Everything I've done at $20 a pop. This blanket, $20. This thing, $20. And I do $20 at a time, and I've got a cabin. And, I'll finish it, but I enjoy the process. So prepping. We're going to learn how to recognize a narcissist. Those bastards. They're not born that way, they're made. And learning how to recognize that, to protect yourself if you're in a relationship, or to avoid being in a relationship, what attracts them to you, and how to forgive. Is that right, Tick? Are you canoodling? I love you. Are you canoodling? What? Are you precious? Say I am. What do you want? What do you want? You're so good. You're so good. Tigger's 12. She got all white. She used to be all black. Are you an old girl? Okay. How to recognize a narcissist. Yeah. And then, God bless the internet. God bless YouTube. Seriously. I'm woke. Are you? And there's podcasts that were instrumental in my awakening And I'm going to give shout outs right now because I want you to follow these people too. Leak Project, Rex Barrett Leak Project. You know, if you're not already, just go to Leak Project. You'll meet Ozzy Stern. It's a character on the show, and he has the most amazing guests. Okay, Naughty Beaver. What is that, a Naughty Beaver? I heard that. You're giggling? No, he's this Canadian dude. He's knucking futz, if you know what I mean. But he's brilliant. He's genius. And he knows how to look at things in a different way. And the way he collects knowledge and his resources. And one of those resources is Cosmic Agency. All this stuff, it's better than television. Who needs network TV anymore? I haven't watched it for years. I catch it I get some news just to see like how they're presenting this stuff, but what else? Naughty Beaver. Oh. Okay. Above Ground World News with Mike Morales. Above Ground World News. This guy, Mike Morales, he follows all the satellite images, the chemtrails. You'll learn what's in the chemtrails. He'll show you where they're spraying, and then he does a 16-day forecast based on these chemtrails, and he's never wrong. Okay? When you're going to get dumped on rain, snow, drought, how they move the atmospheric rivers, the jet stream, and how they're manipulating the climate. We have to understand this because you need to know what's coming. And then Dutch Sense. Dutch, he does the same thing with the radars, and he logs all of the earthquakes, and he'll show you how to look at these graphs so you can see when the strength of the earthquake, how deep it is in the earth, and how that affects the other earthquakes that are going to come from that, because it'll go deep. There was one just recently in the Pacific, 600 kilometers down below the crust. Okay, and that's the Juan de Fuca plate, the Cascadia subduction zone in the Pacific Ocean. Is the subduction plate is going to go under North America. Okay, and what it's going to do, it's triggering the magma, the lava, the magma. In California, Yellowstone, there's dormant ancient volcanoes that are becoming awake now because that plate is getting moved. Now, I picked this place because I heard about this like way back when, 79. I'm going to be 60 in February. So what? Anyway, I picked this place from a map I saw, the post-pole reversal, pole shift by Nostradamus. Now, Naughty Beaver does an excellent job of presenting the direct text from Nostradamus and relating it to current events. And there's another dude, John Hogue. John Hogue, he speaks French. John Hogue looks like Nostradamus. He could be the reincarnation. I know the Christians are like, that doesn't happen. Didn't they say Jesus was No, it was John the Baptist was a reincarnation of Elijah. All right, now the Bible, we got punked. That's all I'm going to say about that right now. But we did. And it stung. And it hurt, and I was crushed and shattered. But Jesus is still that guy. That's the good news. That's all I'm going to say. Dutch sense. Oh, and I just learned about this guy, Marfoogle. Marfoogle TV on YouTube. Marfoogle, M-A-R-F-O-O-G-L-E. Marfoogle. Adam at Marfoogle TV, Marfoogle News. His show is really long and it's really late. So it's a call-in show. So people like you and me can call in with the stuff that we pick up and go, hey man, did you hear about this? And you could do your own research and share it with people. And he's got a huge audience. And he's a little weird guy, but you gotta love him. He's very entertaining. And he's very, very good at what he does. So, those are my recommendations. This is where I got my transformation started. And, we're all waking up, and it's another guy. I'm going to add one more. Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Yeah. David Diamond at Oppenheimer. He bought the Oppenheimer Ranch. He is a paleogeologist. And he talks about these solar cycles and solar minimums. And we are in a very significant, deep, long-term solar minimum cycle. And what's currently happening is that our magnetosphere, this electrical shield around the Earth that's protecting us from radiation from the sun and from deep space, all kinds of different emanations are coming from all of these different things. They penetrate the Earth and they penetrate us down to our cells and our DNA. Our DNA is being changed, and it's causing people, it's triggering illness, weaknesses in the body, physically and mentally. You may notice others, or possibly yourself, are struggling physically or mentally. This is an influence that's causing it. And knowledge is power. So, having some knowledge and understanding that this might be coming from outside of you could help you deal with it. Because, you're thinking, I'm going crazy. As an example, you think, I'm going crazy. I feel depressed. I feel like, these mass shootings and stuff. These things stimulate those guys. They trigger those guys. Those guys have influence from the media, from family and socially and whatever. All of these influences cause us to react in these ways. And what I want to do is, I have my own perspective, as do you. And I want to be able to share what you think. You're not crazy. You're being punked. And we're going to get unpunked. Damn it. Stop that. Bullies are pushing us around. Also, I've learned a very effective way of dealing with the enemy, negative influences, demons, the devil, archons, aliens. You need to understand what the buzz is, what everybody's talking about. There's only two chances you know, of anything. Either it's true or it's not true. What I've done to help me stabilize me is I plan. If this happens, I'll respond that way. And if it doesn't happen, then I'll respond this way. And then I kind of gauge my decisions, my activities, what I invest my time and money in based on what if. What if this happens? And if this doesn't happen, then that happens. So I'm always kind of got a plan, you know. Fail to plan and plan to fail. All right, we've all heard that, but it's true. And I have these weird, you know, I have all those sayings and things that I've used. I'm thinking, well, that's interesting because it hooks me, you know, it's engaging. It's like, huh? What? How does that work? What does it mean? Where does it affect me? You know, how does it relate to the world and my people and stuff? So, you know, I have a way of looking at things that I hope will resonate with some of you, you know. And you know, I've gained my own insights from allowing thoughts and feelings to, I allow myself to contemplate. I'm curious. Why do I feel this way? Why did I think that? What caused it? Stuff like that. And it brought me to a couple of sayings that are my own. This is getting longer than I thought, but I'm just going to roll with it. Anyway, humanity is a fractal of the Godhead. You are a fractal of the Godhead. And all the fractals put together create the mind of God. God created everything that is, good, bad, and ugly. But he couldn't experience it, so he expanded himself and gave his creations free will. This is very, very, very important. Free will allows God to experience all aspects of his creation through us. And it's because we are a spark of the divine. Okay? That's what the enemy wants from us. The enemy is this devil Satan guy, these archons. They want what we have because they lost their spark. And they need us for food. They call it fodder. No, fodder is synonymous with, the term is lush, Lush. Lush is the emotional emanation in a frequency that comes off of us when we experience fear, guilt, doubt, jealousy, all those things that are sinful, right? They love that because that's like candy to them. So those bastards are going to provoke us to react. So you know how you defeat them? You kill them with kindness and you starve them. You don't give them what they want. That's the challenge. I take that as a personal challenge. And you know what? I'm winning. I mean, I couldn't cross the street. I was a blithering bundle of panic attack. I couldn't deal with people, anything. And now, 24 years later, I'm here, talking to you. Why? Because I love you. You know why? Because nobody's worth not loving. Why? Because not loving somebody loosh. And nobody wants that. Except those bastards that are punking us. Get it? Unpunked. Let's do this thing. All right, I'm gonna end this because I think it's long enough. But yeah, man, I've been thinking about this for a long time. I thought I had to be refined and stuff, and I was like, blow it off. I'm just gonna be me, because I do that best. Anyway, I would love to hear from you. Please be patient with me. I'm a little slow with some things because of the stroke, but the part of my brain that is not damaged by the stroke is communication and vocabulary, critical thinking, philosophy, stuff like that. But math and science and technical stuff, direction, it's a wash. So, I've found a way to do it, and it's been years coming. So anyway, let's get unpunked. It's a t-shirt. I'm feeling it. Okay, love ya. I'll be back.